Yes people, welcome back to another video. So we're going to be talking about the best attachment for tricep pushdowns. Now this is quite a niche video, it's quite a niche specific topic, but I think it's quite an important one, especially if you're trying to overload your triceps, get bigger triceps. They take up 2/3 of your arm, so if you want to have big arms, this is the way to do it. Aside from your compound lifts, of course, like your weighted dips, your bench press, all that kind of stuff. All that jazz. So when you're isolating your tricep, it is pretty important to get the right attachment. So we're going to get straight into it. I'm going to go from worst to best. And this is my opinion. This is what works for me best. This may not necessarily work best for you because exercise is individualistic. You might prefer a different attachment to me, but at the same time, I've trained over 5 years. I kind of know what I'm on about. So we'll see. We'll see how you guys feel about it in the comments. But just before we get started, go check out the Lean Muscle Protocol, link in the description. £15, my personal program that I use to gain lean muscle quickly and strength as quickly as possible as a natural. Go check that out. Go check out Amp's pre-workout, link in the description. 10% off, code Leo at checkout. Hope you enjoyed the video. So, the worst attachment, and this is going to be controversial, I think is the straight bar. And I'll tell you why. It's because I believe that it puts a lot of tension on your wrists, which is unnecessary, especially if you like to lift heavy. I like to lift heavy. Who doesn't? I constantly preach high intensity training. That's what's worked for me. That's what I use. I train 3 to 4 times a week in the gym, weights nowadays. Tops 5, but that's like 3 to 5 is my range. I train exceptionally hard, and when you train exceptionally hard and exceptionally heavy, and a movement feels uncomfortable, heavy, then it's not going to be best for you, and also it just causes me a lot of strain in my wrists, which is unnecessary. You want to be uncomfortable, don't get me wrong, but you want to feel comfortable, like you're not getting injured. There's a difference in that kind of nuanced grey area within that. So yeah, that's my least favourite tricep exercise in terms of the push down. The next one is the ropes. Now the ropes do feel good. I do get a squeeze at the bottom. Like if you're coming, I'll show you from a side point of view. If you're coming there, you do get that either side, but you don't get as much tension at the top of the movement, and you can do less weight. So you want to try and have, especially on attachment exercises, as much tension as possible. That's why you'll see people doing cable lateral raises instead of dumbbell lateral raises. I do both because I like the feel of both, but you want to be maintaining constant mechanical tension because that's what builds muscle, as we know. The next exercise is single arm push downs. This is going to be literally just with the cable and the cable on its own, nothing else. Coming to the side, doing it like that. I like this because it exposes any weaknesses, any unilateral deficiencies that you may have in either tricep, which it is very prevalent in a lot of people because you're going to have one hand that's usually stronger than the other most of the time, especially if you're right-handed, left-handed, etc., etc. Same thing with your legs. That's why I like unilateral movements, Bulgarian split squats, that kind of thing, because it exposes all of this. And when you're pressing, usually one hand's stronger than the other. Mine is my left at the moment because I have a shoulder injury, for example. So it exposes all these different things, and you can focus on one at a time, and you're able to really concentrate on one particular area of your body, which you're not able to do in a lot of areas of your workouts, but it's fine because compound movements, you still get a lot of bang for your buck, and also there are pros and cons to both, so you needn't worry about that. So yeah, that's a very good movement. My favorite one is the V-bar, purely because I like to train heavy. I can do the most weight, and also when I get underneath it, it feels great. It feels so natural when I push it down there, and you can really get a contraction at the bottom. You really can, and you're very tight. Your elbows aren't flared. You're very stable, and you're coming over the movement here. You're kind of in a hinge motion, right? And you're pushing down there, and you're able to use a lot of your body weight. Now, I wouldn't suggest being too far away. I have done this before where my core's working a lot more than it should be. Try and get close as you can to the bar and push down like that. So that is my favorite one. It's one that's worked best for me, especially in the tricep push down kind of area. That's my favorite kind of isolation exercise for the triceps. That's what I've always done. And my triceps have grown really well off of it. My triceps, again, is something I've always focused on because I've understood that it kind of gives that big aesthetic look, and they take up thirds of your arm. So if you want your arms to look big, it's not all about biceps. In fact, I would emphasize more your triceps most of the time, so you can build all three heads. And that's another thing. Try not to get too hung up about which head you're hitting. I believe that's something people focus on a bit too much nowadays. I believe that you should just do what works best for you in terms of just building your triceps. Of course, don't do just exercises that build one head, but the majority of them build most of the heads all at once anyway. So again, you needn't worry about that. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it's been informative. I know it was quick, I know it was snappy. Have you got any questions in the comments? Please let me know and I'll reply to them. Drop a like, drop a subscribe, and I shall see you later.